Hi, I'm Taylor Haase and Daddy Shirey. We are coming to you from the Penguins season opener at PPG Paints Arena, where the Penguins just beat the Coyotes 6-2. Very, very lopsided game. Danny, what can we take away from a game like this?
Well, first and foremost, this is the Coyotes, but again, this wasn't a preseason game, against the Buffalo Sabres prospects. These are still, mostly NHL guys, even if it's not the best lineup out there. But I think the biggest thing we can take away here is that the top six played really, really well and showed a lot of cohesion with each other. I think a lot of us knew coming into this regular season that Gensel, Crosby, Raquel would play pretty well together, but I also think it was at least somewhat of a question mark. Would Evgeny Malkin continue to build on the season he had after coming back last year from a major knee surgery? Would Jason Zucker finally start to fill the net, even though he was playing pretty well at both ends of the ice? We know what we're going to get out of Brian Rust, but they all played extremely well. And I thought Malkin was phenomenal, even completely away from the puck. He was engaged in the defensive zone. He took some extremely smart routes on the forecheck to kind of either funnel the play up into the next layer of pressure. And I was just really impressed with the cohesion and chemistry that they showed early on.
Yeah, the Sabres prospects could probably beat these Coyotes, to be fair. But yeah, you saw a lot of what you wanted to see, especially from the core. And guys like Kapanen and Zucker, they need to have bounce back seasons. Again, this is the Arizona State Coyotes, so you have to take it with a grain of salt. But I mean, for the first game, a lot of good signs. Power play looked pretty good. Sullivan said he thought the power play was good. Penalty kill, not so good. Sullivan did obviously acknowledge that there are more new pieces on this penalty kill, and it's just going to be a process getting them acclimated.
Yeah, he did make a comment about how because some of the guys are new, it's a lot harder to read off of your teammates when you're actually out there. So, if a guy makes a move to the corner or whatever it might be, you might not necessarily know exactly where you're supposed to be or what kind of coverage needs to shift there. But on both of the Coyotes' goals, Nick Ritchie kind of slipped into open ice in the middle of the slot and was able to put both of his opportunities home. So that's definitely something that they're going to have to clean up.
Yeah, Marcus Pettersson also in the box for both of those goals, something you don't want to see either. Tristan Jarry, good game from him. He only faced 4 shots in the first period, which a lot of times for a goaltender is a challenge in and of itself when you're sitting at the other end of the ice, not seeing any action for that amount of time. And then when, the Coyotes did kind of turn it around in the second period, for him to stand, the Coyotes did get a couple of goals, but for him to stand tall when he did, I think that's a really good sign.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, this is the Coyotes here, and giving up 2 goals to him isn't some otherworldly accomplishment here. But I don't even think some of the Coyotes' chances at 5-on-5 were all that great. But Jarry just seemed really sturdy and calm and confident in himself. And I think that's as important as anything when it comes to goaltending. We've seen in the past when he really struggles, he's kind of sinking down into his crease and not coming out and taking the angle away. And I didn't see much of that at all from him tonight. I thought he was out on top of his crease, taking the angles away. And it's kind of funny to see the way he's matured over the past couple of years too. Like he used to be real quiet and kind of kept to himself and seemed just a little more laid back. But as things got a little chippy later in the game, you saw Jarry getting a little involved physically and throwing a couple whacks with his paddle into some net front Coyotes as well. So that was great to see.
Yeah, this was the first game for Pemi Joseph and Jan Rutta. They weren't together at all during the preseason. Rutta was with Ty Smith the entire preseason. Ty Smith is down in Wilkes-Barre. Pemi Joseph and Rutta, just what do you think about Pemi Joseph getting into the game here?
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to look like we know what we're going to get from Pio. I'm not seeing a whole lot of like the high-end upside that we maybe thought once was there. But he can be a reliable guy. I thought there were a couple times where the puck was bouncing around on him, and under pressure there was a guy that kind of made him cough up the puck, but he was able to recover nicely. There's just a limit here, but I still think he is absolutely an NHL player at this point. and definitely deserving of being in a lineup. And that's just something that's going to take some time. Like you said, he hasn't played with Ruda really at all. They didn't spend much time. I don't think they were paired together at all throughout camp because Ty Smith was with him.
Yeah.
And Joseph was telling me the other day when I talked to him, he's like, look, I get confidence just from having time and experience with whoever his partner is. So, you know, don't want to take too much home from their performance tonight. I think they can be a good pairing for the Penguins moving forward, but I do think the upside there might be a little limited.
Yeah, I mean, even Smith and Ruda, they had been together for most of the camp, and they were still making, you know, some mistakes they saw, like in that Red Wings game. And even them, you know, they said they were still getting familiar with each other as a pairing, and they at least had some practices together where Pio and Ruda really didn't. And Pio, the real knock on him, Sullivan has had, is that he wants to see him take what the game gives him, not try to do everything himself, because when he does that, he makes mistakes. And if you're not familiar with your partner and you can't really make reads off your partner, that doesn't help there. So that's just something that's going to come with time. Something interesting stat, Crosby. So he scored the first goal of the season. This is the first time he's ever done that since he's been with the Penguins. That was just crazy to me.
Yeah, that's just unfathomable, but I guess that's just another one of the wild Crosby stats that we'll have to throw into the folder.
Yeah, I mean, another weird, crazy Crosby stat, they showed it on the video board. He has 14-11 career points. Ovechkin has 14-10. Now, obviously, there's a huge games played difference there from all the time Crosby missed with concussions, but it's just insane that after all these years, those two are still neck and neck in the point race.
Yeah, no, at this point, it feels like they're just going to be neck and neck and within, 10, 15 points of each other, if not fewer, for the rest of their careers.
Yeah.
It's really just awesome to see. I think with Crosby's third point, he moved, 2 points ahead of Ovechkin now, is he?
Yeah, I think.
But yeah, it's just awesome to see. This is the kind of stuff that makes sports great, for me at least. I mean, after 18 seasons, and these guys have been at the center stage of basically the NHL since they got here, and they're neck and neck in points and right there with each other. It's just really awesome to see.
Yeah, that's enough on this game. The Penguins play a real team in 2 days in Tampa Bay. We'll have all your coverage of that over at DK Pittsburgh Sports.